Alright, so today we're checking out another EDC flashlight. This is from THRUNITE, and this is the Catapult V7. It's a little bit bigger than the typical EDC flashlight that I've reviewed lately. And its box is a bit bigger and a bit heavier, but it's got a lot of powerful specs, so let's go ahead and get it out of the box. Alright, so in the box we got a user's manual. We'll take a look at that here in a second. Got the flashlight here inside this holster. Got a USB-C cable for charging. Got a couple of spare O-rings for the waterproof rating. Spare USB-C port cover. Got a little key ring here. And we got a pretty nice wrist strap. And here's a quick look at the holster. So, little strap here for the belt. Can hook it on here. Got some Velcro. And a pretty nice little holster for the flashlight. And here's a look at the flashlight itself. Got your branding there, THRUNITE Catapult V7. Very large reflector, as you can see here. And there's the LED element way at the back. It does have a beam reach of, I think, over 1,000 meters. I'll look at the specs here in a second. But just looking at it in the hand, obviously this anodized, this is aircraft grade aluminum, probably 6061, quite hefty, and feels really good in the hand. This is all metal here, but it has a good grip, and you got your lockout mechanism here, so you can't accidentally turn it on. There's the USB-C port here for charging right there. There's this little notice card here on the bottom of the flashlight. It just basically says you have to screw down the light head tail cap tightly before you use and charge. And that's how we're going to get the battery out. So we're going to unscrew this cap here at the bottom. And here's a look at the inside. And that's the battery. It's a very large battery. This is a 26800 size, so much larger than your typical 18650 or 21700. So this is one size above that, and it does have USB-C port on board. So if you want to charge it outside of the flashlight, you can take it out and charge it separately. And you can also buy spares of these as well, and have them basically charge them outside and then quick swap them instead of having to wait for it to charge inside the flashlight. You can have a spare of these and then charge it outside, and then when the battery dies you can swap it out for a fresh one. But yeah, interesting. Got your button top here, THRUNITE branded, 27.75 watt hours, high discharge performance lithium ion rechargeable battery. So this is definitely the one you want to get. Obviously there's probably going to be some generic ones out there, but I would recommend getting the ones from THRUNITE directly. Alright, so taking a quick look at the user's manual, and there are different light modes here. You've got turbo, and it goes up to 4010 lumens, that's the maximum, and it'll run up to 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's pretty amazing. You've got high at 2148 lumens, medium at 593 lumens, low at 93 lumens, Firefly at 0.8 of a lumen, and it'll last up to 59 days. So if you're out in the wilderness and you need a flashlight that'll give you light for almost 2 months, Firefly mode will cover you. And then you have a strobe mode at 2130 lumens. In terms of the distance rating, it just says that it's 1081 meters max. That's going to be probably for the turbo mode, and I don't really have anywhere to test out that far, but we'll give it a try in the outdoor test. Impact resistance is up to 1.5 meters. That's pretty standard, and it is IPX8 waterproof rated, up to 2 meters deep. Okay, let's do a quick test here. So when this little switch here is over, it's locked and you can't turn it on. So you have to unlock it, slide this over like so. Now it is unlocking, see right there. And it has a memory function, but I'm not sure what mode it's on. Let's go and just click it. I'll turn it on, and then to go through the different modes, you have low, medium, high. You long press the button. So long press. There's medium. Okay, so that's low, medium, high. Back down to low, medium, high, And then I think if you double press, it'll go to the strobe mode. So if you are sensitive to flashing lights, you want to fast forward this part of the video. So I'm going to double press. Okay, that goes to turbo mode. So double press goes straight to turbo mode. It's very hot. So I'm going to turn that off. And let's see if it remembers. If we turn it back on, yeah, it goes back to low, medium, high. I'll turn it off. Okay, so back to low. And when it is on, I think you triple press the button. That should go into the strobe mode. So again, if you're sensitive to flashing lights, you want to fast forward through this part of the video. So 1, 2, 3. There's your strobe mode. And off. Turn back on again. Back to low. Off. So when it's off and you long press the button, it'll go into the firefly mode. So this is the firefly mode here. Quite dim, but I think in a dark environment it should be quite usable. But at this point we'll go ahead and test it outdoors and we'll see how it performs. Alright, I'm here at my normal spot testing these flashlights. Dark field here. And let's go ahead and turn on the moonlight mode. And you can see right there. Moving it around. Not very far, but can see stuff pretty close. No problem. Alright, here is low. Again, pretty decent for just low. Medium. And here's high. You can see high can reach pretty far. All of these trees off in the distance, no problem on high. And we'll go back down to low again. So low doesn't really go too far. These trees here that are close. Gonna light those up. Here's medium again. A little further reach. Not too bad. Pretty narrow center beam, pretty wide outer beam. And again, here's high. And high, you can reach that furthest wall way at the back there, no problem. Back down to low. Medium. Medium reaches that further wall back there too. That's about 300 meters away. And again, high, no problem. Alright, here's turbo. So, very strong beam there. And goes quite far. And pretty much light up everything as far away as I can see in this area. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. The flashlight does get pretty warm. Alright, here's low again. I'm going to walk off here to the side so you can see what the beam looks like from the side angle instead from the first person view. So I'll walk over here. This is low. You can light up that tree right here. This tree over here. Here's medium. This will give you a good idea what this beam looks like from the side. Here's high. Turn it off. And we'll go to turbo. Even from my perspective, I can clearly see the beam. Not sure it's going to show up on camera or not, but there's a very clearly defined center beam there on turbo. But the flashlight does get warm quite quickly. And we're back down to low. Alright, so this is back down to low, and let's say medium. Anyway, that's going to do it for this review of the THRUNITE Catapult V7. Questions, comments, let me know in the comment section below. There'll be a link in the description and a discount code if you want to check it out. That'll do it for this video. Talk to you guys in the next one.